what if success means just getting on that stage? What if it was literally just getting up there, and that is what you internally view as success? Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rahozah, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. So nice to have you. Today we're getting cozier, okay? Don't be alarmed. I'm not gonna let you on fire. I am, however, gonna get us cozier by lighting a candle, all right? Today's video is honestly in honor of me getting over my perfectionism by having a little chit chat about perfectionism with you guys. I've read a couple books on perfectionism, procrastination, things like that, and I just wanted to share some of the things that I've been implementing, that I've been learning, and I've used the exact same things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video to overcome the perfectionism that I felt around creating this video, okay? And believe me, there was a lot. So just so you know, you are getting this video from a literal perfectionist that had to push herself out of that in order to be here right now. So I have a Virgo moon. If you guys don't know that much about astrology, basically Virgos are the sign of the zodiac that really are perfectionists, that need things to be done and done well. And then your moon sign is like your emotional self, like how you are emotionally. So my moon is in Virgo. So to me, that means that like in my projects, everything that I do, it needs to be perfect. You know, as long as it's my project, I get in my feels. I will literally stop myself from doing anything if it's not perfect. Which, you know, perfectionism sounds nice in theory until I realized that perfectionism is actually paralyzing me and stopping me from doing the things that I want to do. So once I realized that I had like these perfectionism tendencies, I realized there were two things I could do about it. I could either let the perfectionism overcome me and stop me from stepping into my life's purpose, doing what I want to do with my life, or I could deal with this head on, step into this fear, and really just do the damn thing. And obviously it's a lot easier said than done. So I'm going to talk a little bit in this video on how I kind of overcame those tendencies. So I wrote down a list right here of some things that having perfectionism could manifest in your day-to-day life. You can avoid doing things in your life because you get paralyzed by the idea of doing things. It could lead you to take too long to do things. It could lead you to make excuses for why things aren't perfect enough to do. So for example, if the gym is closed, that is an excuse to be a perfectionist. But for someone whose goal is to work out at least 10 minutes a day, every day, you're just gonna make it work anywhere, right? Also, if you're a perfectionist, you may stay stuck in your comfort zone and playing small because you can't mess up on things that you don't do, right? Usually, perfectionists have an all or nothing mentality. And unfortunately, we can't always have everything be perfect. So usually that leads to a nothing mentality. Another thing that perfectionists do are they save the best work for later. They push things off in order to avoid doing them. Not pursuing relationships so that relationships can't go wrong or you can't be rejected. And pretending not to care, being passive in life. Trying to not look good, to avoid even trying and still not feeling like you look good. I know I'm calling some of you out right now. And lastly is living a sedentary lifestyle because, you know, the all or nothing thing that we mentioned. So these are all things that could manifest and happen if you are a perfectionist. Now, even though I just told you all the things that could potentially manifest if you are a perfectionist, I'm not going to be sitting here today telling you not to be an imperfectionist. I know that doesn't work, you know, from personal experience. As human beings, we don't like being told what to do. So I'm not gonna take your autonomy away from you. You can be a perfectionist if you want to. But what I will propose is that we redefine what perfection means to us. In a book that I recently read called How to Be an Imperfectionist by Stephen Guise, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he talks about how there are two types of thinking. There is binary thinking and there's analog thinking. So binary thinking means I've succeeded if I've done the task. And then analog thinking is I've succeeded only if I've done the task well. Analog thinking causes us more stress, more anxiety, and leaves us paralyzed and in fear of perfectionism, while binary thinking makes things simple, easy, effective, and sets the bar of success as actually doing the act at all. So how about we set the bar from, instead of thinking that success means getting things done perfectly, we focus on getting them done at all. This can really help us redefine what perfect means to us. What if the most perfect thing that we can do is getting the thing done? Imperfectionists actually are at an advantage because they just expect progress and consistency, even if that progress and consistency is flawed. We don't want to look at success as the destination, right? We want to view the process or the act in general, just doing the act, as a success. For example, with me creating this YouTube video, for a very long time, I was stuck in the mindset of, if it's not perfect, I can't do it. And then, all these A, B, C, D, E, F, G things that I have in my own mind on things that make a YouTube video perfect, that in and of itself could paralyze me from even starting, pressing record, and filming the video. However, once I shifted the way that I view creating content, creating video, instead of now saying I need everything I do to be perfect, I say, no, I just need to do it. The success for me comes in clicking record and filming the YouTube video, because I really could get in my head about how imperfect this video is, how I didn't script it as well as I did my old videos, all these things, all of these rules that I'd set out for myself in order to create content consistently. But how realistic is that if I don't even press record because I don't have the time to script or I don't have the energy to film right now? You know what I mean? It's really about switching our brains from it needs to be done perfect to no. Success to me means just doing the damn thing. Okay? A reframe. So I've really been working on this, and I think we should all strive to be imperfectionists a little bit, and just knowing that we are human beings and human beings are inherently imperfect. Imperfectionists see and accept themselves as they are. They accept that they're human beings that are inevitably going to make mistakes. We need to stop giving ourselves these expectations that we need to be perfect, because if we keep setting our bar of success as being perfect, then we're always going to fall short of that. But when we view doing the minimum, doing the thing, the standard, the thing that keeps us consistent in what our goals are, that's what makes all success seem great. That gives us a more positive view and outlook and mindset on life, right? And this isn't about lowering our standards, not expecting greatness from ourselves. That's not what this is about. It's about redefining success as the progress, because that's what we can control. Another block that a lot of perfectionists have is that they usually fear making mistakes, getting rejected, embarrassed, and just all the negative things that could potentially happen to people who put themselves out there, whether that is in social situations, online, in relationships, in their jobs, public speakers, on paper, literally anywhere. If you're putting yourself out there, you are putting yourself in a position where you are risking embarrassing yourself, making mistakes, all the things, right? And that fear is extremely valid. We don't want to look like a fool. We don't want to embarrass ourselves. We don't want to be perceived as less than. But here's the thing. We need to know that the mistakes that we make on the journey, on the process, they do not define us. So what does define us? Our responses to the mistakes that we make are what define us. Because we can allow those mistakes to completely paralyze, hinder us, and stop us from getting back up again, trying again, and bettering ourselves for the next time. So at this point of the video, you already know you're a perfectionist. Let's now talk about how you can get shit done effectively as a perfectionist. So I compiled a list of 6 powerful ways that you can start getting shit done and getting it done well. So number 1, this is the best strategy, and that is starting with a mini action. People think that they need to wait for this magical moment where motivation, inspiration is gonna strike them and they're gonna suddenly feel like doing the thing that they know they need to do. But the truth is that action needs to come before the feeling like it part, because we're not always going to feel like it. We're not always going to feel motivated. We need to just have like a mini little thing that we start doing that allows us to put one foot in front of the other. For example, let's say going to the gym. Instead of telling yourself, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to have a 2-hour workout, I'm going to do this new program, I'm going to, like, instead of all that, say, no. My mini habit, the first thing that I'm going to do, the small action that I'm going to take is just putting on my workout clothes. Because then what does that action in and of itself do? It snowballs and it leads to you taking the next necessary action that it takes to get the thing done that you need to do and do it well. Okay, for example, me doing this YouTube video. Like I said earlier, instead of saying I need to make this perfect video, everything needs to be perfect, I need to say the right things, it needs to be, none of that. Pressing record is my mini action, okay? Think about what is your goal and what is the mini action that you can do that is going to start the process, okay? Just starting the process. I didn't feel like hitting record. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I was dreading it, but I just did it, and here I am, loving every second of talking to you guys. I got into the flow, but that can only happen when you start that momentum, okay? So that's number one. Number two, this one is so important and I'm still working on it, but it's making that mini action just a normal thing. We want to make it casual. We want to make it seem normal, just like a part of our everyday life, something that we just do. We don't want it to be like, oh my God, it's such a special occasion that I hit record. No, we want this to be something that we do daily, right? If you want to go to the gym, I'm assuming you want to go consistently, right? So this is something that's just a part of your being. It's not something that you just do once in a while. This is something that, what do you mean? Putting on my gym clothes is normal. So yeah, it's a little annoying, but like, I'm just gonna do the first step because this is just a normal part of who I am. It's like changing ourselves on that identity level and like thinking this is just something that I do rather than I'm doing something so outside of me right now and, you know, challenging myself. Like, no, we don't want to think that we're challenging ourselves. We want to think that this is just a normal part of who we are. The third thing and little mindset shift that we want to do is to start shifting our brain, instead of thinking of results, to think about the process. And specifically, the first step of that process. Like we said, that little mini habit. When we reframed what success means to us, and success means the process of actually doing the thing rather than getting to the destination, once we shift our mind to that, we just execute, and then we can just think to ourselves, I'm just gonna do my best in this moment and not care about the final results, not care about how it turns out. This helps us really release that resistance, and then the results are inevitably going to come anyway. If you take the necessary action, you know, results are going to come. But focusing on the results only takes away, of course, from the present moment, but also when you're not in the present moment, you're not able to give your best. Instead of being in the body, instead of experiencing life, you're all in the mind. You're thinking about the future that is not yet existing yet. And why would we do that? How does that serve us? Number 4 is to stop ruminating and always ask what's next. Okay, a lot of us, especially as overthinkers, which I got a video coming out for you guys real soon. A lot of overthinkers will keep ruminating over and over and over about a past failure that has happened, right? A mistake that we made in the past that's keeping us stuck in perfectionism. Just like keep ruminating on how things need to be better than the last time that I did this, right? Instead of ruminating, thinking about how things could be better, ask yourself, what's next? What's the next step that I can do? How can I take those mistakes as feedback, objective feedback, take them as lessons and move forward in my life? Number 5 is when the excuses come up, which inevitably they will, just recognize them and choose to start the process with low expectations and see how it goes. Number 6 is decide what is enough for you. Maybe just being consistent or just doing the act is always enough. Maybe doing 5 minutes of exercise is enough. And enough meaning it's your minimum. It's your, this is what I do every single day, and everything else that I do is bonus to that. You know, once you do your minimum, that's enough for you. Everything that you do in addition to that is excess. It's a bonus. It's It's just an extra way for you to feel good about yourself. Maybe just getting to the gym is enough, and whatever you do from that point is a bonus and it's enough. Maybe sitting down and writing 50 words is enough. Just start and set the standard, the bar lower, rather than overwhelming yourself with such a high bar. And once again, this isn't about, lowering your standard for the quality of life that you're going to live. This is kind of psychologically training our brain to not be overwhelmed and paralyzed by perfectionism. This is about reminding ourselves that we just need to start with the first step. That is our bar. Just starting is success in and of itself. The results is not the success. The process of doing the thing is the success. In the book, he gave a great example of like someone who's about to give a speech to a crowd of people. A lot of people wouldn't do that because of, imagine all the mistakes that could be made. But what if success means just getting on that stage? What if success is not delivering a perfect speech and having everyone validate you and give you positive feedback and not stumbling over your words and not, going off the script? Like, what if it was literally just getting up there? And that is what you internally view as success. I'm sure that would ease a lot of, fear around speaking. Is just lowering that bar of what do you view as successful? And then, without all that pressure of needing to be perfect, you have less chatter in the mind that actually would maybe cause you to make more mistakes because you're so in the mind and so worried about making mistakes. When you're not worried about making mistakes, you can just be and you can just show up and improvise. So that's all for me in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave this video a like, leave a comment down below letting me know if there's something valuable you got out of this video, what you learned, and subscribe if you want to see more of me and my energy. And remember, learning to be imperfect is the most perfect thing that you can do. Love you guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.